All right, good afternoon, everybody. Thanks so much for taking some time out of your day to join us for another one of our Campus Preview Days sessions. Today, you are going to have the pleasure of interacting with my colleagues from Career Services. They are the MVPs of your transition from the program to the profession, and I'm so excited that you're going to get to talk to them today. And without further ado, I'm actually going to hand it over to them because you know what? You get to hear from me all the time. So let's hear it for our Career Services team.
Thank you, Tim. I've got to match your energy now with that. But good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Career Services at the School of Education. My name is Shamil Orr, and I am the Associate Director of Student Affairs and Career Services here at the school. I'd like to start the presentation by saying we are thrilled that you're considering the University of Michigan School of Education. And so we want to take some time to tell you a little about what you can expect as a student in one of our renowned educator preparation programs. Hold on, sorry. And so I will say that we are excited to welcome you to our school. So as you begin the program, we wanted to really introduce ourselves and share how we can support you during your time in the School of Education. We are excited again that you are considering the teaching profession, and we want to show you the support that you get as you the support around your career development needs, again, to help you navigate the job search. So our goal with the presentation today is to ensure you know the Career Services team, the types of services and resources we offer, and what our alumni have reported about their job search. And so we realize employment is a big factor in decision-making, and we want to assure you that you will have the supports and resources needed to navigate this journey. And so your in-house Career Services team is comprised of the career advisor, Laura Mayers, who you'll hear from a little later. We have our Career Services assistant, Margaret Throckmorton, and myself. We are the three-person small but mighty team. So Laura and I, we facilitate career programming as well as offer one-on-one advising. And Margaret provides administrative and event support and also serves as the primary administrator for EdWorks, which you'll hear about a little later. So even though we are a small team, we offer a robust set of programming and resources to help you identify and articulate professional skills while navigating the job search. And so now I'm going to pass it over to Laura, who will talk more about our services.
Hello, everyone. I wanted to share with you our mission. The SOE Career Services is a student-centered team committed to providing a comprehensive and tailored suite of services and resources that will empower students and alumni to leverage skills and training in order to achieve and maintain lifelong career success. I know it's a mouthful, but I think what's really unique about our team is that we really do help you create a tailored job search plan. And so I'm going to now dive into some of the ways that we are going to support you in creating that plan. The first thing is EdWorks. This is our career services system. It's the one-stop shop where all students and even alumni can go to access a variety of things to help them in their job search and career success. So we have our events integrated in that system. That's where you are RSVP for any workshops we are having. You will find job postings, volunteer opportunities, and the other key aspect is resources. So all of our handouts that we create around resume writing, cover letter writing, networking, interviewing, it's all in there, as well as we've really tried to make an effort within the last few years to record our events. And so you'll find a lot of recordings of past events going kind of all the way back, probably till 2014, 15. So it's a great system. The next piece that we offer is one-on-one advising. And I would say this is probably a large chunk of our offerings, where this is where we get down to the specifics of what's important to you in your job search. And, you know, whether that's You figure out you want to narrow your search to the local area, great. Or you want to teach internationally, or you want to investigate other states. Shamil and I, as career advisors, you can meet with us one-on-one. It's student initiated. So as often as you need to meet with us, we are here to support you, and especially around the out-of-state job search. That process has an extra layer to it of applying for certification in the state you are interested in. And so we definitely offer support around navigating that process. And we are going to include the link to our appointment scheduler at the end of this presentation, so that by all means, if you have any questions around out-of-state certification, please meet with us now. We're happy to kind of talk through what that might look like if you were to come to our program and complete a Michigan teacher certification and then go elsewhere. Another aspect of our services is programming. So our events, we offer workshops. Before the pandemic, we actually had started moving our programs to online. And so that was very helpful when everything had to be virtual this past year. So again, we're really trying to focus on making our offerings, our events accessible to students, because we know, depending on what program you're in, you all have different schedules. And so again, we like to record our sessions so that you can access them at any time that's convenient for you. And the last piece is how we keep in touch with students, get them the information they need, is our career newsletter, which is weekly. It goes out every Friday morning. And we do that so we're not sending a lot of emails, because we know students are inundated as it is with emails. So we really try to save our communications for that newsletter to make sure that you know of anything coming up, whether it's job fairs or workshops we're offering or deadlines. And we also include some highlights of jobs we have in EdWorks and upcoming events that are happening on campus and beyond. So those are the key services that we offer as a team. But then in addition, you are also going to be able to access the University Career Center, which is the career center for the entire university. Their programs, services are open to all U of M students. And of course, U of M has so many resources. They have their own career services system as well, and that is called Handshake. So you get EdWorks, which is just for School of Education students and alumni, and only has education related opportunities. But then you also get access to Handshake, which includes all fields, because opportunities for all fields. But again, some schools do post in there as well. So you just get additional job opportunities, access to additional opportunities there. The Career Center also launched a really wonderful networking tool just for U of M students to connect with alumni, U of M alumni, and that's called UCAN. And so as a U of M student, you automatically get access to that. You sign in with your U of M credentials, and that's a great way to be able to network with other educators and teachers. And the School of Education has their own group within that UCAN system, so you can be connecting specifically with School of Education alumni, which is really neat. And the last thing we want to highlight that they offer is the Clothes Closet. It's on pause for now, but I assume that they will be restarting that this coming school year. And this is an opportunity where they provide professional clothing, and U of M students are allowed to come and select, I think it's up to 2 articles of clothing per semester for free that you get to keep. So that's just an opportunity to get more access to professional wear for students that they offer. And then the last resource we want to highlight is Rackham Graduate School. They offer career programming specifically for graduate students. And I've been really impressed, especially this past year, with their diversity, equity, and inclusion workshops. They have a lead program that's all around, those topics. And those are headed by Deborah Willis over at Rackham, and she's just done a phenomenal job with topics that really, they're not so much education specific, but they are wonderful for, all professions. And also they offer a DEAT certificate just for, again, graduates that you can complete. So that's in a nutshell, the key resources that you will have access.
And so now I'm going to share a little bit around our alumni and what they have reported. Again, thinking about employment after the program, what does that look like? What have your alums, shared with you? So every year, the Career Services team deploys what's known as the First Destination Survey. This is our opportunity to hear from our alumni about their job search. How long is it taking them? Where are they going? Are they happy with it? And so I have included information both for our elementary as well as our secondary MAC programs. And so as we can see, usually more than 90% of students are finding employment in the field of education, or they are going on to pursue, higher degrees such as PhDs or so forth. And I will say I do have some pre-COVID numbers. However, this is our group of alumni who were job searching, directly in the middle of the pandemic. So as we can see, we are still having high satisfaction. Students are finding jobs, and they're able to do so, in a pretty reasonable amount of time. As you can see, we had, 85% of our students, finding jobs within 6 months, with a large number of them, reporting that in less than 2 months. Michigan, majority of our students are staying in Michigan. Over the last 3 years, we've seen more than 75% of our graduates staying in Michigan. Again, if I'm combining data over the last 3 years for elementary MAC, we've seen over 100% of them, again, finding employment within 6 months in the field. Let's see, we also have, how are they finding jobs? We try to stress to students the importance of building your network. And so using some of the resources like UCAN to connect with alumni, participating in some of our programs where we're hosting panels where alumni are sharing around their experiences and really making those connections, because personal and professional contacts are showing up from year to year as, ways in which our students are finding their jobs. So again, I will kind of forward to our secondary MAC. So again, we can see that, 87% of reported graduates found employment in the field of education. Again, a large population of them staying in Michigan. Over 87% of them found, jobs within 4 months, with 100% finding them within 6 months. And so again, we are here to support you as you are thinking about your job search. Certainly, the more broad you can be with your search, the more opportunities that are going to be available to you. However, if you are very limited in where you're able to go, you can work with us and we can develop a plan that allows you to really target in on that particular area. But again, overall, it's going to be what you put into it. We're here, you have the services available to you. And so we hope that you will take advantage of it. So now we can, open it up and see if there are any questions that we might be able to answer for you. Again, we are just a resource for students, but we want to make sure that you have all the information that you need in order to make a really informed decision around next steps.
I have a quick question on when would one start applying? Because we have to finish the program and take the test. But somebody yesterday was saying they were started applying in February. So I already have a really solid relationship with one school district. And so I would really like to get with these people. So when would the process start? I mean, do you start applying for jobs before you actually pass the test for the certificate, or?
Yeah, thank you for that question. So yes, it really depends on where you're targeting your search. Different places have different timelines, right? So Michigan, for example, we typically see like the bulk of postings being available later in the summer. However, there could be other openings that show up earlier on in the toward the end of the winter semester. So around this February timeline, as you suggested. So it really does depend. We are encouraging students during the winter term to be updating your materials, having them ready so that when something does come up that you're interested in, you're already ready to apply. And so we'll work with you to make sure that your resume is up to date, that you are adding materials to a portfolio. We want to make sure that you have a really solid cover letter. So it is likely that you might see, a posting come up well before you've completed the program. But again, we are here to sort of help in navigating that. I'd also like to point out we have our education job fair, which typically happens as well before you complete the program. And this is another way for you to, meet with schools and districts that you're interested in across the country. We have Michigan schools, we have other schools, again, from other states. And so that is also a place where you get to like network and share out your materials, again, in preparation for landing a job for the fall. So it's very likely, yes, that you will be applying to things before your program actually ends.
Okay. So then, like, I think it's going to be interesting, the jobs that will become available because of the pandemic, and then people are retiring, and I've known number of people that have just quit teaching.
Mhm.
So the next 2 years might be good because I'm already seeing a high level of advertising in a school district now that they normally don't have.
Okay.
So we can apply before everything's finished. And how do the school districts look at that? Do they just know that you're doing this well, so of course you'll pass? And I mean, they don't like mark you down or.
No, I mean, they're going to know when you are getting your degree and your certification based on the dates that are included in your resume, right? So in the event, you can still apply and interview and kind of go through that process. You can even get an offer, but that's going to be contingent upon you, again, getting your degree as well as, your certification.
Thank you. I
No
forget.
problem.
I have a problem. Even my students get on me when I'm teaching. So.
No problem at all. Thanks for that question. Are there other questions?
I want to know what are the job opportunities for international students, and
Yeah.
if they don't have an education background, that is, as well.
Okay. So, part of the program is really part of the program is giving you that experience, right? And, giving you that education experience that you are going to put on your resume. And so I think it's okay if you don't have that experience really coming into the program, because we are going to support you in really developing those skills to be a really strong candidate. Okay. I will say, just as an example, right? We have our education fair that's happening for our current students. It's actually happening today and tomorrow. And Laura and I just kind of looked at this information. So for the employers, there is a filter in which you can identify schools or districts who will either sponsor international students or do not require sponsorship. And so this is something that you can actually filter by. We were working with a student who was interested in Michigan, and we identified, 56 employers who were attending the fair who did not require sponsorship or authorization. And of those 56, I believe 21 or so of those were in Michigan. So there certainly are opportunities out there. You want to be working really closely with the career team so that we can just ensure that you are familiar with all the different options that are out there.
All right, thank you so much.
Sure. Other questions? Okay.
Hi, my name is
Well,
Andrew Carnegie.
go
I'm
ahead.
a prospective applicant. My question is, when we receive placement to the schools, are we encouraged or discouraged from participating in extracurricular activities like coaching and whatnot?
That's more of a program related question. They're going to know about the rigor, in terms of being in the field and your coursework. And so, they'll be able to speak a little bit more closely to that. Or Tim, you might have more insight there.
Yeah, my recommendation would be to, as you start connecting more with the program staff, that would be a great question for them because they're going to have the most up-to-date resources and information about what your placements are going to look like.
And I would also add, I know once you get connected with your mentor teacher, that's a conversation you can have as well, because they will know for their particular building, what activities they have going on. I have not heard so much about coaching, but I have heard in the past lots of opportunities where the school was putting on an event and the mentor teacher was assisting or asked their intern, would you like to help out? So there are a lot of opportunities to do more outside of the required, student teaching experience. And we are always, Shamil and I, when we're working on the resume, we're always trying to get, okay, like, how are you engaged in the school community? Because that just adds to your experiences, adds to your resume, but also making sure that you're balancing everything. It's especially the MAC programs. It's a lot to take on with the coursework and your student teaching. And we always say your student teaching and those courses should come first. And then based on what you can do outside of that, then that's great. But making sure just that you're not taking on anything that's too overwhelming.
Thank you very much.
Any other questions? All right. Well, as Laura mentioned, you can meet with us if there are things that you want to talk about one-on-one, or you want to kind of work through. We are more than happy to connect with you. You can either email us, or you can schedule an appointment directly with either Laura or myself. Let's see.
Thank you, Connor.
Yes, thank you. Sorry, I'm like trying to read this. It's so hard to.
I'm gonna put the link to schedule an appointment with us in the chat. And please do not hesitate to schedule a time to meet with Shamil and I. It's always great, before you fully decide on a program, just to, get some, any burning questions answered. So we're happy to meet with anyone.
Thank you all. So nice to meet you.
Thank you. I appreciate your being here.
Thank you so much.
So yeah, that concludes our presentation.
And I would like to offer my thanks to everybody for swinging by and to our career services team for being so terrific. And I hope everybody has a great day. We will see you at a future session. Take care, everybody.